Pacific Coast Sports Racing Association and the National Association of Professional Racing Leagues Incorporated for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction, rebroadcast, retransmission, or any other disseminations or the use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the Pacific Coast Sports Racing Association and the National Association of Professional Racing Leagues Incorporated is prohibited. On the PCS Array Sports and Gaming Channel from Learfield IMG College. Welcome to Triple P on the Blue Hedgehog TV. Now here's the voice of the PCS Array, Mr. Daniel Voyles.
Chevy took advantage for the second week in a row, sweeping the Trucks, Xfinity, and Cup Series, and Supercars saw Red Bull Racing take over the wins in the two races, respectively. Hi, welcome to the Who Has Energy and Who Has Strengths edition of Triple P. I'm Daniel Voyles, as we're getting ready to talk about everything about racing and show everybody who is the most impressive group for 2024. The awesome expert panel is here, who is super excited, super ready, and super ecstatic to be here in our PCS Race Studios, surviving the thunderstorms, with his insightful analysis that will make him say the words, "I'm going to trigger Ormy" when the show is over. We want to welcome our amazing friend, Mr. Zachary Taylor, driver of the Purdue University Toyota for Indiana Motorsports. Hi, Mr. Taylor.
Do I even want to ask what that introduction was?
Hey, it's called the, you get a cookie. So here's a cookie for you, Taylor. Yes, Zachary Taylor, as of this recording, is surviving a tornado watch, which we blame Not Clothed Ormy for this.
Okay. I will say this real quick, and then we'll get back on topic. But so let's just say we're gonna have like a 50-degree temperature drop in the space of about 13 hours or so. And that is kind of why we're seeing tornadoes in a way. So.
Yeah, in the month of February, which is a bruh moment.
Yeah, I should hope I don't get any of that.
Yeah, we need the power of Zachary Taylor. If not, then I blame Taylor Jr. for this.
Oh, no.
I think you know where I was going with.
I'll blame Nathan James on this.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that. Hi to one person in the Twitch chat, and we're happy to have you with us as always. So, Mr. Taylor, are you ready to recap?
Yes.
Because we love your awesome, insightful analysis. We also want to welcome Sean Art, driver of the Bret Holmes Motorsports Chevrolet Camaro. You're just in time. You didn't miss anything except the part where Zachary Taylor blamed Not Clothed Ormy. That's all you missed.
May I ask what that profile picture is, Sean?
I have a feeling I know where this is about to go for this episode. Oh, I know. That profile picture reminds me of the interview Kyle Busch did at Phoenix during Xfinity practice.
It is exactly that, and I'll explain more about it after the show.
Yeah, we'll explain more of that. Gentlemen, are you ready for an awesome show and an awesome time? All right. Here is our... Wait, what?
I don't know how this show's gonna go, but we'll see how it works.
Hey, that's why I call you the awesome expert panel, who are so excited for this awesome television program. Anyway, Mr. Taylor, you and I are going to discuss this. I don't want to get copyrighted on a show I'm watching on my phone. And by the way, if you're thinking it's a food show, you're incorrect. It's something to do that's off topic, and if I bring it up, I'm going to get sued by the Warner Brothers and the Warner sisters. So I probably don't want to bring it up. So just a little FYI.
Anyway.
So just throwing that out there. Anyway, Mr. Taylor, you and I are the only ones that's going to talk for this segment. Let's talk about the bat this weekend as we start off, as always, with Global, Let's go over the top 10 results, Mr. Taylor, and then I want your thoughts on the Bathurst races. Brock Feeney gets his first win of the season. He won the race. Will Brown finished in second. Chaz Monster third. Richie Standaway came home in fourth. Running out the top 5 was Cameron Hill. Sixth was Nick Paracat. Seventh, Bryce Fullwood. Eighth was David Reynolds. Ninth went to Andre Hemgarter. And 10th went to rookie Matthew Payne. Will Brown won race number 2. Chaz Monster second, Brock Feeney third. Here's the ironic part: the 3 drivers that finished on the podium flip flop, but it was the same 3 drivers on the podium, which is no surprise. Thomas Randall fourth, James Golding fifth, sixth was David Reynolds, seventh Matthew Payne, eighth was Jack LeBlanc, ninth with Nick Paracat, and completing the top 10, Will Davidson. So, Mr. Taylor, your thoughts on the Bath this weekend?
Well, definitely it was interesting. And definitely it was weird in the sense that SVG is no longer over there.
And also Brody Kostecki, too.
Yeah. Definitely was kind of weird seeing a supercar race without SVG in it. But overall, though, I mean, the racing seemed like it was some pretty good racing, and it's going to be interesting to see as we get farther along to the supercar season how many different winners we're going to see this year.
Yep. We also had one of the races, the track being jammed. I think it was either that or Super 2, but I don't know. Supercars will be racing. Their next race will not be until we have the Australian Grand Prix for F1, which we'll discuss more about F1 coming up in a little bit. I should mention the global standings. I will go over the global standings. Do need to make a disclaimer. The NASCAR standings for our drivers, as I mentioned last week, their point standings will be down in the description. So if you guys don't know who finished, who leads what, you can check down the description as far as the points are concerned. But as the points for global, as we enter the month of March and we enter Bahrain, Andy Crenshaw is the points leader by a tie for second, a 1-point advantage over Cody Smart and Heather Galloway. 2 points behind is Zachary Taylor, Lauren Eckstrom, and Dalton Jacobs, as well as Sylvia Cunningham. 3 points ahead of Aaron Hornish, Dillon Cunningham. 4 points ahead of Rebecca Hawkins, Prudence Martindale. 5 points ahead of Hadley Martindale and yours truly. 6 points ahead of Maizy Creighton. 7 points ahead of Jocelyn Hawkins, Betty Johnson, Annie Thomas, and Luna Farmer. 8 points ahead of Margaret Jacobs. 12 points ahead of Captain Frank. And Sean gets an extra 5 points because he is so special to our program.
So I haven't even made any global picks.
Yeah, even though you have made global picks off the air. That reminds me, Mr. Taylor, when we get to F1, you're going to be making you. Let me start over before I start derping and getting a dunce hat. You will be up next as far as the F1 picks are concerned. Easy for me to say. This is what happens when I just got home, by the way. So forgive me as far as that is concerned.
Hold on.
I knew that was coming up.
Why am I not surprised?
I am not surprised. Also, I didn't reveal who won the cup tally, but I will go over that once we cross that bridge. So, boys, let's talk about Atlanta. Let's talk about awesome Atlanta.
Well, I'm going to be missing out on the push 2 races.
Yeah, which we will discuss about that in just a minute. Let's talk about the Truck Series. Starting off with the Truck Series race, it was the Fabricators 208 at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Which, by the way, spoiler alert: if you have not seen the reactions for both the Trucks and Xfinity Series, you have been warned. Please go watch the reactions before I read the results, because warning: spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. There's going to be spoilers, and I don't want you to get mad at me because I spoiled the results. So giving you that heads up right now. So please go watch the race and then, or watch your reactions, then come back and then you will hear the results. So I'm giving you all this a heads up, and this is going to go for every episode of Triple P going forward with the word spoilers. So just pointing that out. All right, let's talk about Atlanta. We're going to start with the truck series. As I said, the Fabricators 208. Sean didn't. Sean was actually with his uncle and Jesse. I don't know what Taylor was doing. I think Taylor was baking cookies for Matty Crenshaw's homecoming or whatever the heck it was. What he was doing, but
No. Oh, it was actually for Nyclo Taylor Jr.
oh, but Taylor knows what I mean. So the first incident of the recap in the truck race, Keith McGee, the leaders came up to lap him going into turn 3. What happened is they got ready to lap Keith McGee. He got loose. He spun out. Didn't hit a thing, which is a little surprisingly. Or in Sean's favorite case, he did a what, Sean?
Yeah.
There you go. So he spun out, didn't do any damage to the truck. He continued on his merry little way. Nothing else happened in stage 1. Christian Eckes won stage 1, but we're going to talk about him in a minute, about his downfall. The top 10 results for stage 1 were as follows. Christian Eckes got the stage win. Second, this was, by the way, after post-race inspection, which I will document that in just a minute. Second was Tyler Ankrum. Third was Grant Enfinger. Fourth was Ty Majeski. Fifth was Ben Rhodes. Sixth, Jake Garcia. Seventh was Kyle Busch, even though he's not going for truck points since he is a Cup Series driver. Should point that out. Eighth was Jack Wood. Hey, Beavis. He said Wood. Jack Wood. Ninth went to Daniel Dye, the pole sitter, and 10th was Bailey Curry. Then we had an incident that involved 4 trucks. They were Lane Riggs. I'll document him in just a minute, what happened to him after the race, however. The 13 of, let me see where the 13 is. That would be Jake Garcia, the Lane Riggs, Daniel Dye, and Thad Moffitt got together, got some damage. Under that yellow, Christian Eckes had no brakes. NASCAR asked them to make sure the team had brakes. The team said they had brakes. Christian Eckes was sent back out onto the track with no brakes. Therefore, Christian Eckes was parked from the event, was called to the big red truck along with his crew chief for, well, you can basically say they lied to NASCAR, which that didn't go well now, did it?
Nope.
So, and then Jack Wood and the 32 of Bret Holmes got together. 91 went through the grass, destroyed the nose on his truck, which unfortunately for him, he was done for the day, so that's a tough break for him. Which, by the way, ended stage number 2. That was won by Kyle Busch. The top 10 from stage 2 was Kyle Busch, the winner. Tyler Ankrum was second. Grant Enfinger was third. So 2 third places in both stages for Grant Enfinger. Fourth was Tanner Gray. Fifth was Corey Heim. Sixth was Nick Sanchez. Seventh was Ty Majeski. Eighth was Raja Karuth. Ninth was Taylor Gray. So both the Grays in the top 10. And Bailey Kerr completed the top 10. I do need to mention this was Taylor Gray's first Atlanta start because he did not run this race last year due to the fact he was not 18 years old. So there you go. I'm trying to make sure we are still live. We are. Okay. That way Nothing else happened as far as the recording is concerned. And then let's see here. After that, we had a debris caution on lap 80, then a debris caution on lap 95, which, by the way, came off. And this was probably one of the most strangest incidents I've ever seen. Bailey Curry had a. You know how, and you guys don't be afraid to jump in here. What is it? The bolts on the windshield came off that caused the roof to collapse.
I have no idea what's going.
Yeah. My producer just said yes. Did you see that, Taylor?
That was.
I'm gonna say this. I've seen crazy things in NASCAR. I've never seen a truck where the roof, like 3/4 of the roof of the truck was gone. 3/4 of it. The only thing that was left was like the roof flap, and that was it.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, how the hell are they gonna fix that truck? So unfortunately, they had to go to the garage. Their day was done. I don't know if he had to go to the care center, which is weird though. The same thing happened to Lane Riggs, which I'll document that in just a second. Then, of course, we had a debris caution on lap 101, setting us up for a 34-lap finish. And at the end of the day, Kyle Busch ended up winning the race, to nobody's surprise. After the race, however, that same problem that Bailey Curry had happened to Zane Smith, which he was disqualified. And he ended up losing out on points as a result. He ended up getting 4 points. So, yes. So your finishing results from the truck race on Saturday afternoon, early Saturday afternoon. Kyle Busch won, Ty Majeski second, Corey Heim third, Taylor Gray fourth, Nick Sanchez fifth. Nice top 10 run for Caden Honeycutt, his first start of the year in sixth. Tyler Ankrum seventh, Roger Carruth eighth, ninth. Daniel Dye, Dean Thompson 10th. Your other notables, Bret Holmes 11th. 12th does not get mentioned because he has the dumbest name in racing. 14th was Ty Dillon. Chase Purdy got 15th. Colby Howard in his first start was 17th. Timmy Hill 18th. Mason Massey was 20th. Keith McGee 21st. Spencer Boyd 22nd. Stuart Friesen 23rd. Mason Maggio got 24th. Thad Moffitt 26th. Grant Infiger 25th. Matt Mills 27th. Bailey Curry 30th. Jack Wood. He said Wood finished 31st, and finishing last was Lane Riggs. So let's tell you who were the winners for the truck race. And I have to say, you guys did pretty good. So the worst, as far as the points, as that was not the one, hold on a second. Captain Frank got the worst, but that was because he started late. Captain Frank got 106. Sean got 110 points. Yours truly got 114. Jesse Art got 118. Cody Smart got 142. And Zachary Taylor, you were the big winner with 145 points. Impressive job, if you ask me. Oh, and I need to actually write down. Let me look at the Xfinity Series points. Okay, I need to actually edit the points because I made a fail. Hold on a second. Do not give me a. Do not say nice derb. I just forgot to add somebody. There we go. And I'm also going to reveal who was the worst out of the Cup Series. We'll deal with that in just a second. So going to the Xfinity Series that same day, the race was, let's say, it was calm, Taylor. Would you agree?
Yeah, it was kind of a surprisingly calm race in some points.
I wonder if Wayne Auten had a problem with the Wreckfest Demolition Derby back at Daytona. Oh, and before I begin this, for the top 14 drivers that finished on the lead lap in Xfinity, I got something for you. Here's a frying pan. Hit that cursive number, Taylor. Let's see. First yellow, we had nothing happened in stage one. That was won by Jesse Love. The top 10 for stage one was Jesse Love, the winner of stage one. Riley Herbst finished second. Third was Sam Mayer. Fourth, Ryan Truex. Fifth, running at the top five was Parker Kligerman. Sixth was AJ Allmendinger. Seventh, Justin Allgaier. Eighth is Sheldon Creed. Ninth was Ryan Sieg. And completing the top 10 was Sammy Smith. First actual incident. The 91 of Kyle Weatherman was bump drafting the 14 of J.J. Yaley and ended up spinning J.J. Yaley. Thankfully, Yaley didn't hit anything. That was our first actual incident. That was with contact. Nothing else happened in stage two. That was also won by Jesse Love. The top 10 from that stage. Love won stage two. Second was Justin Allgaier. Third, Riley Herbst. Fourth, Ryan Truex. Fifth was Sammy Smith. Sixth was Chandler Smith. Seventh was Cole Custer. Austin Hill finished in eighth in that stage. Ninth was AJ Allmendinger. And the stage points for the stage deal for Allmendinger. I got something for you. Here's another frying pan for you. Dang! And 10th was Sheldon Creed. The reason I gave Allmendinger another frying pan, you know how he finished 6th in stage 1? He finished 9th in stage 2. You know what that means, Taylor? Has that cursive number. So we got 2 frying pans for the price of 1. The other thing to mention, Jordan Anderson had steering issues. Unfortunately, he was the only car that retired out of the race. And if you thought the race was going to be boring, well, Ryan Sieg ran out of gas along with the other Fords, brought out a late race yellow. Everybody ran out of fuel in the final restart. Austin Hill powered through and got his second win in a row, taking the Raptor King of Tough to 50. So your full results for the Xfinity Series was Austin Hill, the winner, Chandler Smith second. Nice top 10 run for SVG as he comes home in third. Sheldon Creed came home in fourth with Parker Retzlaff in fifth. Good run for him. Jeremy Clement sixth. Anthony Alfredo seventh. Jeffrey Earnhardt eighth. Ryan Truex ninth. Sammy Smith 10th. Other notable, Sam Mayer got 11th. Jesse Love 12th. Brandon Jones 14th. Riley Herbst 15th. Kyle Weatherman 17th. 19th was Parker Kligerman. BJ McLeod 18th. 22nd was Ryan Sieg, so running out of fuel came back to haunt him. Haley Deegan, 27th, so not the result she was hoping for. At least this time she got the car home in one piece. Dawson Cram, 31st, and down there in 38th was Jordan Anderson. After the race, however, NASCAR on Fox, who doesn't want to show a fight, but thank you to a person on YouTube, there was a fight between a crew chief of the 14, and Kyle Weatherman. And also NASCAR ended up tackling the crew chief to the ground after the fight was over. And they have already deliberated what kind of punishment, and they came to a decision, which we'll discuss that in our top story news after we go over the points for Xfinity. So let me tell you who won Xfinity this week. Looking at the points from Xfinity. That is trucks. I wanted Xfinity Telly. So Captain Frank got 87. I got 151. Cody Smart 161. Zachary Taylor 164. Sean Art 175. And Jesse Art with 191 points. And then last but not least, the Cup Series, which, by the way, I will actually reveal the tally since I didn't reveal the tallies yesterday as of this taping of our show. The Cup race was interesting, Taylor. You know, we talked about the pack racing and all that yada yada yada, and on super speedways. But the one thing we always talk about is the big one. When will it happen? If it will happen? When do we see it happen? Well, the answer to that question on Sunday came out on lap number 2. 16 cars were involved, Taylor.
Yeah.
What was it? A bump draft gone wrong is what happened? Because I saw Austin Dillon spun out. That's what initiated the wreck. By the time it was done, half the field was torn up.
Well, it was actually because of Todd Galloway trying to let his teammate get in the push, and he kind of went poorly.
Yep, so it collected Chase Elliott, Noah Gragson, which I'll mention about Gragson in just a minute. Josh Williams, this week's driver, the 16th. So a bad day for Josh Williams got worse. Christopher Bell, Harrison Burton, Bubba Wallace, Daniel Hemrick, John Hunter Nemechek, Eric Jones, Tyler Reddick, Alex Bowman. Let's see. Justin Haley, just need to remember he's in the 51. It'll take me some time to get used to. Elijah's favorite driver, Ty Gibbs. The 77, that was Carson Hocevar, and, of course, Daniel Suarez. Everybody but Josh Williams continued on. Josh Williams sadly dropped out of the race after being involved in the after getting the damaged vehicle policy. Chris Buescher spun coming off turn 4, which he lost it by himself. Then it got worse for Denny Hamlin after that. On lap 54, Kyle Busch sent Denny Hamlin spinning down the front straightaway, which, in the words of me, he sent him almost into the shadow realm, as I like to call it. Then after that, we had the first stage that was concluded. That was won by Michael McDowell. The top 10 for stage 1 was Michael McDowell, Ryan Blaney in second. Third was Ross Chastain. Fourth was Kyle Larson. Fifth was Kyle Busch. Sixth was Martin Truex Jr. Seventh was Ricky Stenhouse, or as I like to call him, Ricky Wreckhouse. Bubba Wallace got 8th. 9th was William Byron, and 10th, Todd Gilliland. A little surprised to see the front row got some stage points. And then stage 2 came around. Towards the end of stage 2, Joey Logano thought he was clear, didn't clear Chris Buescher. By the time they did, Buescher sent Logano into the wall, collected Denny Hamlin. That ended stage 2, which was won by Austin Cindric. The top 10 for that one was Austin Cindric, Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney, Daniel Suarez, MTJ. The top 5, Todd Gilliland, Brad Keselowski, Harrison Burton, Chase Briscoe, and Chase Elliott were your top 10 in that stage. Let's see, Noah Gragson, who had an accident. I think it was from that big wreck, went to the garage. He was done for the day after that. Zane Smith was on the DVP after he got up into the wall. He was out of the race after that. Christopher Bell also was involved in an accident. He was out of the race. Let's see here. After the 2 stages, the 15 of Kaz Gralla spun, which was spun going into turn number 1. Then Chase Elliott got a rude bump draft by Ross Chastain and spun the Hooters Chevrolet around, but thankfully didn't hit anything. Then looked like Kyle Larson got loose, collected Brad Keselowski and Corey LaJoie. Kyle Larson was out of the race as a result. John Hunter Nemechek was also involved, but Fox Sports didn't have the balls to show what happened, and then smacked me and flacked me for illegal lying, which they deserve a flag for that. And then Denny Hamlin got got collected by Chase Briscoe, which Briscoe nose in the wall. That brought out a red flag, which was a shame. And then let's see, Josh Berry, Chase Elliott, and Carson Hosfar had an incident on the back straightaway. One thing to mention during green flag pit stops, Michael McDowell and William Byron spun coming to pit road, but the caution did not come out for that for some reason. I think NASCAR was too busy going to get a hot dog or something at the concession stand. What?
Hot dog.
But at the end of the day, Daniel Suarez we had a 3-wide finish. Daniel Suarez beat Ryan Blaney by, let's see what the stats say, 3/1000ths of a second to nab his second career cup win, his first this season, Trackhouse's first win. And here's a stat you guys need to hear. 8 of the last 9 races across all the NASCAR's top 3 divisions have been won by the bow tie, and Chevy has now won 7 the last 7 races, dating back to Phoenix of the championship race last year. Can you believe that, guys? That's insane.
I think that's proven the dominance here by Chevy.
Yep. And
but here's the thing. The justice that you just saying, how close that was. If you did not watch that stream, how we reacted. It was insane.
Yes, it was 8. We had 8 cautions if you exclude the 2 stages, and the time of the race was 3 hours 28 minutes, so not too bad. So the results for the Cup Series, and I will go over the tallies for the Cup Series before I put them into the, and I'll add them up, and I'll also post them down in the description. So Daniel Suarez, the winner. Ryan Blaney, second. Kyle Busch, third. Good runs for those 2. Austin Cindric, fourth. Bubba Wallace, fifth. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., sixth. Ross Chastain, seventh. Michael McDowell, eighth. Chris Buescher, ninth. And Elijah's favorite driver, Ty Gibbs, completed the top 10. Your other notables, Harrison Burton, 11th. Corey LaJoie, 13th. Kaz Gralla, 14th. Chase Elliott, 15th. Ryan Preece, 16th. William Byron, 17th. Carson Hosfar, 19th. John Hunter Nemechek, 21st. Austin Dillon, 22nd. Alex Bowman, 27th. He was second in points coming into this race, so this really hurt him in a not-so-good way, if you guys know what I mean. Josh Berry, 2 weeks in a row, he's had troubles this week. And all the way down in poor 37th place is Josh Williams. So now, since you boys didn't hear how you did for the Cup Series, would you like to go worst to first or first to worst?
Worst to first.
All right, we're going to go worst to first. And take a guess who is the worst person this week.
I think it's Captain Frank.
Wrong.
Well, bleep.
It's Senor Sean.
What?
Why? This is why. Brad Keselowski was your favorite, finished 33rd, gave you 7 points. Christopher Bell was your stay away from. He finished 34th, gave you 6 points. Chris Buescher was your dark horse. He finished 9th, gave you 42 points. Alex Bowman was your sleeper. He finished 27th, gave you 24 points. And the long shot was, let's see here, Noah Gragson. He finished in 36th, gave you 4 points. You rounded up together 83 points.
Well, that's some BS.
So that sucks. That sucks for Sean in that regard.
That was garbage.
All right. Now, who would like to take a guess who had the next worst points?
I'm going to probably say Cody.
Wrong.
What?
Captain Frank was next. This is why. Kyle Busch was his favorite, finished third, gave him 48 points. Josh Williams was his stay away from, finished dead last, gave him 1 point. Josh Berry was his dark horse. He finished in the 29th position, gave him 22 points. Alex Bowman was a sleeper. He finished 27th, gave him 24 points. And Chris Buescher finished in 9th as his long shot for 42 points. You rounded up together 136 points. It's not an answer.
Alright.
Next, we do go to Cody. Speaking of Cody.
Well, great.
And I'll explain. Let me actually type this in before I forget.
Yeah, you better.
Yeah, I better before I get sued by the Warner Brothers and the Warner sister.
No, you just better do it before you get it done.
Yes, I know. So Cody Smart was the next worst. By the way, when you see the deal, I did put it worst to first. So Cody Smart is next. This is what happened to him. Joey Logano was his favorite, finished 28, gave him 23 points. BJ McLeod was his stay away from, finished in 24th, gave him 27 points. William Byron was his dark horse, finished 17th, gave him 34 points. Alex Bowman was a sleeper, finished in 27th, gave him a total of 24 points. And Corey LaJoie was his long shot. He finished in 13th, gave him 38 points, rounded up together 146 points. Next, we go to Sean's. Let me make sure I look at the list here. No, next we go to you, Mr. Taylor. So, Mr. Taylor, you had a great points day. This is why I say that. Let me find your picks, Taylor, from last week. Zane Smith was your favorite. He finished 35th, gave you 5 points. Denny Hamlin was your stay away from. He finished in the 23rd position. He gave you a total of, I'm going back to Taylor's predictions, 28 points. Justin Haley was your dark horse. He finished 20th, gave you 31 points. Ryan Blaney was your sleeper, finished second, gave you 49 points. And Michael McDowell was your long shot, gave you 43 points by finishing in 8th. You round up together 156 points. Not too bad. The runner-up goes to Jesse Art. And Sean's going to be really not happy about this.
This is already a bunch of BS, so what else is there?
We're going to actually talk about the point. We're actually going, and I'll have the point standings down in the description, by the way. So, yes. Jesse Art, this is why she finished second. You probably know who won this week, and I'm not going to spoil it. Chase Elliott was her favorite, finished 15th, gave her 35 points. Ty Gibbs was her stay away from, finished in 10th, gave her 41 points. Josh Berry was her dark horse. She got 22 points but after Josh Berry finished in the 29th position. Tyler Reddick was her sleeper. He finished 30th. He gave her a lousy 21 points. And Ryan Blaney was her long shot. Finished second, gave her 49 points. You round up together 168 points. And the winner this week is me. So, I think you're surprised about that, right? Yes, and I scored 183 points, and this is why. I had Tyler Reddick as my favorite, finished 30th, gave me 21 points. Eric Jones was my stay away from, gave me 26 points by finishing in 25th. Corey LaJoie was my dark horse. He finished 13th, gave me 38 points. Daniel Suarez was my sleeper. He wins the race. I get the 50 points. Hooray for me. Fuck Stapleton. And Kyle Busch was my long shot. Finished third, gave me 48 points. You rounded up together 183 points. Oh. So let's tally up the points. Taco. All right, so let's see. I'm going to do this just so that way I do not forget who had what for the truck points. There we go. So let's see. Let's start with Jessie. So she got 118, 168. And then how many she got for 191? Jesse Art ended up finishing the weekend with 477 points. Let's see. Who finished? Let's see. Like I said, the standings will be down in the description, so this will be the total points. Let's do Zachary Taylor next. You got 145 plus 156. Damn, Taylor, you're over 300 points, and I haven't even put your truck points in. 460. Wow, Taylor got beat by a girl. 465 points. This is, by the way, the points combining the 3 races this weekend. Let's do me next. I doubt I won. I'm going to be a little surprised if I did win. So I got 114 because my truck picks used the St. Louis Deadbird strategy. 297. And then I scored 151 points. 334. Wow, I did terrible. I think what killed me was the points for the truck series, if you know what I mean. I think that's the... Oops, that was not what I want, you derping hyena. But I think that was the one that really killed me, was the trucks. Is not an answer. Cody Smart's next. So Cody got 146, 142. And then how many did he get? He got 161 Xfinity. 449 points. He didn't even beat Jesse. What the bleep is this? Okay, I really question Cody's expertise of what the hell is this. NASCAR, let's do LTR points. Okay, let's see here. Let's see if Sean still keeps the points lead, though. Okay, so he got 193 and 175. Wow, Sean still beats me. Sean almost got that cursive number. You got 368 points combined to 3 races.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Question is, was it good enough to keep you the points lead? Let's see. 87, 83, and 106. 87, 83, and then 106 for Frank. 276 points. So that's the total points. Now I got to find the standings. Need to find the standings from last week so I can put the points in. All right, there it is. So now, when we combine the points, you get this. Sean has a total of 880 points entering Vegas. Cody Smart had 449 plus 433. Cody Smart has 882, so it's a 2-point cushion between him and Sean for the points lead.
It's still a long way to go.
Still early in the season. Zachary Taylor, 465, 346. 811 for Zachary Taylor. I had 334 plus 327. I have 661. Jesse had 477 plus 317. 764 points. She has passed me in the standings. And then Frank is like a shitload of points behind the leader. Captain Frank, as obvious, got 276 points. So there is that as far as that's concerned. So, all right. So the LTR standings are now in. I will post the NASCAR driver standings down in the description below. So there you go. As far as that's concerned, I don't know what the hell that was all about, but anyway. Let's go into our top story news, boys. Let's start off with the big one that came out just before we came on the air. NASCAR released penalties. Let's talk about this, boys and girls. Let's talk about starting with the big ones. You know the Joey Logano who had a pass-through penalty for the glove incident in qualifying? Remember that, Taylor?
Yeah.
Well, that earned him a $10,000 fine for a safety violation. It was and he already did his pass-through penalty when the big one happened. So there you go. Ryan Preece and Noah Gregson's team lost 35 points for modifying the roof air deflectors, which I will show you that on my cutaway cart on my diecast cutaway car in just a minute. The 19 crew chief Seth Chivaka was fined $5,000 for lug nuts not properly installed. And then Jason Miller, crew chief of the 14 car in the Xfinity Series. Remember that little fight he did with Kyle Weatherman, Taylor?
Yeah.
That earned him a 2-race suspension, which means he will miss this weekend's race at Las Vegas and next week's race at Phoenix. Because what NASCAR determined is that he put Kyle Weatherman into a chokehold, trying to, well, you know the rest. So, for anybody that doesn't know about the roof deflectors, if I can find my pen, there we go. I will turn on my camera and give you a little demonstration. So, yay. So, here's my Chase Elliott diecast car, and let me tell you where the roof deflector is. NASCAR, I'm actually going to show you this right here. So, NASCAR came out with this car in 2022. Right here, if I can see, okay, there we go. Right here is where the roof deflectors are, because there's the roof flaps right here on the entire car. What happened was during qualifying inspection, the roof deflectors right here and right here on the 10 and the 41 were confiscated due to a modify, and as a result, it resulted in a 35 point penalty for driver and owners, and it caused a big hurt in the standings, which means if I look from what Pockrass said, and I'll get you guys' thoughts on Atlanta in just a second. With that penalty, let's see, where did this drop him? The penalty with the SHR cars. Let's see if I can find. Oh wait, I haven't done this. There we go. So let's see. No penalty to 41 truck, as I mentioned. With the SHR penalties, Priest is now 36 in points with 0 points. Was 24th before the penalty. He was 12 points behind the cut line. Now he's 47 below the cut line. Should his appeal get denied. And then Noah Gregson is 43rd in points with -6 points. He was 18 points below the cut line. He's now a whopping 53 below the cut line. So gentlemen, I ask first question is, what were your thoughts on the Atlanta weekend? Second, your reaction to the penalties for the fight on pit road and the penalties for SHR, Joey Logano, and the Kyle Weatherman incident. Taylor, I'll start with you.
Fighting is Danny's favorite.
Hey, Sean. You know the best part about that was that got recorded. Oh.
Getting back on track here. The penalties, I think, definitely when you do something that you're not supposed to do, according to the NASCAR rule books, definitely you're going to get in trouble. And I think with the penalties, I think that's kind of what happened there. And definitely NASCAR didn't approve of some things that happened, and with a few teams there, and they got fined as a result. But as far as the racing, though, in Atlanta, definitely it was interesting with some teams trying to save some fuel on some of the races and trying to play fuel mileage games and everything, and definitely it was interesting, but definitely the Cup race was really wild, and seeing that 3 wide photo finish there was absolutely bonkers, that's for sure. But definitely overall, that was a pretty good race weekend.
All right, Mr. Sean.
Well, I didn't get to see the Xfinity or Truck Series.
I think you're glad you didn't see that because the 2 races were okay. Wasn't that great? So, but you could give your thoughts on Cup.
But I will give my.
I'm sorry. Did Discord decide to be a drunken hyena?
Thoughts on the penalties. That sucks to hear those sorts of penalties thrown out. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, go on.
Okay, but anyway, back to the penalties here. Sucks to hear that Priest and Creighton get penalized like that. That's actually unexpected that it got started badly at the beginning of the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And then Logano violation. That's just stupid.
Well, I think what Pockrass said, and I'll tell you what Pockrass said. Pockrass said that alternating a glove for possible sight difference in drag only in qualifying is worth an in-race penalty equal to failing 3 times in pre-race tech, but bringing a piece to racetrack to be raced to alter handling for entire race is worthy of points penalty. That's what Pockrass said. Because The competition side of the penalty, this is, by the way, from Pockris, for Logano was during the race. He likely would have lost a couple laps. Who knows what would have happened if we didn't have that big one? He's 2 laps down. That's Logano's race pretty much ruined, if you know what I mean. So, yeah.
But then the whole fight after the race, it's just common attitude there. We have had fights at Atlanta before, so it's not anything new.
Well, the thing. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just saying it's just common. I'm not gonna throw anything on it, but suspending a guy 2 races, that seems accurate, because you don't expect a crew chief of all people to get into a fight.
Well, they said on the radio is that they were going to go after Kyle Weatherman post-race, which I knew that was going to happen. But the insulting part is that, he was trying to choke Kyle Weatherman. And then the NASCAR official came in there and tackled them both like he was John Cena or Randy Orton on WWE and did that RKO tackle out of nowhere, which if we do a wrestling podcast, I would love to have Sean as my panelist for that. But in all seriousness, I could understand why Jason Miller, but the thing is that Kyle Weatherman didn't mean to bump him. He bumped him in the wrong area. Because remember, Atlanta there's a quad oval. If that was on a straightaway, that's one thing. But if it's in the quad oval and he was pushing on the left side, then I could see why. But what I don't understand, and some people probably will agree or disagree with this, is that you can confront him and tell him not to do that again, but you don't need to be choking him. You don't need to be like wrapping your arms around somebody's neck and trying to choke him. I mean, this isn't like a hazard toy, for crying out loud. So I think the penalty definitely fit the crime. I mean, if Jason would have just talked to Kyle and just gave him a warning, tell him not to do that again, that would have been where I would put my 2 cents in. But the 2-race suspension had to be done. Of course, he cannot appeal the 2-race suspension according to NASCAR, because we had that happen with Matt Kenseth when he got parked for wrecking Joey Logano at Martinsville after what happened 2 races prior at Kansas. We've had people right rear hooking somebody like Bubba Wallace and Chase Elliott did last year at Charlotte. So this makes a lot of sense to suspend him for 2 races. I mean, I'm fine with the 1-race suspension if you're right rear hooking somebody, but 2 races for that crew chief definitely, I think, would definitely fit the crime. There will be a new right side tire for the Cup Series cars this weekend at Vegas. It will also be used at Nashville, Kansas, and Texas. It is an updated construction that hopefully gives teams more of a tuning window. Remember, last year, some teams had issues with right side tires in practice, but were okay in the race.
That's going to be interesting, but I haven't got my thoughts on Atlanta.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I haven't done it yet, but really, it was a good race. Really, from the beginning of the race to the end, very good. And just the finish alone made it incredible.
Yep. I thought the Cup race was a lot better. Even though it had a lot of cautions, I thought it was a lot better. So, definitely will take it. The Hendrick Motorsports 17 Xfinity car will be racing next week, which will be which will start at Phoenix. We'll have Greg Ives, crew chief, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman. Boris said will be back June 8th at Sonoma. That will be interesting. And then Brandon McSwain will crew chief the Byron races. Interesting, right, Taylor?
You mentioned Boris said that. You want to know what I just thought of?
What? Oh, let's hear this. Let's hear this.
Wait, you remember that fight him and Greg Biffle got into?
Oh, yeah, Watkins Glen in 2011.
Yeah, Greg Biffle was like, I'm going to go to his house and beat his butt.
Actually, that's what Boris said to the reporter.
Yeah.
I was like, do it. I want to see it get recorded on YouTube and upload it.
Anyway, getting back on topic here.
Let's hope Greg Biffle's not an Xfinity car. Let's point that out. Like when I say I hope he's not in the Xfinity car, I'm referring to I hope he's not in the Xfinity car when we go to Sonoma later this year.
Yeah, I think it's Greg Biffle Boris said 2.0.
Yep.
Don't look at what I just did.
In what? The president's chat?
No, in your
Oh! All right, let's rate the Taylor. Did we rate the Bath this weekend or no?
I do not believe we did.
Okay,
no.
Taylor, from 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the greatest, what would you rate Bathurst?
I will give it 7.5.
I'm going to go 7. All right, Taylor, you did watch the Trucks and Xfinity, right?
Yeah.
All right, you and I are going to rate Trucks and Xfinity, then all three of us will rate Cup. From 1 to 10 for Xfinity, or no, let's start with Trucks. From 1 to 10 for Trucks, what would you rate the truck race?
I'm going to give the Trucks a 7.5 as well.
I'm going to go with a 6.5. I really wish they would have had, some people to make moves towards the end of the race. That's why I give it a low score, but there's nothing you can do. Xfinity, Taylor?
I'm going to say a 7 for Xfinity.
I'm going to go 7. It was going to be a 6, but because of that late caution, it got bumped to a 7. All right, now to the Cup Series from 1 to 10. Zachary Taylor, and then Sean, and then me. What would you rate the Cup race, Taylor, from 1 to 10?
Well, definitely, I will say I think the Cup race was probably the best race out of all three. I'm giving this Cup race at Atlanta, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. I mean, all the 3 and 4 wide racing we saw for at least half the race, and everybody trying to make aggressive moves throughout the whole race. Definitely, that was really something that we didn't see in the Truck and Xfinity race that much, let alone that 3 wide photo finish there at the end.
All right, Sean, your rating for the Cup race, since you were the only one that saw the Cup race.
I think it was a very good race. Not worthy enough for 10 out of 10.
I think Taylor was drinking the Kool-Aid again.
How about a 9.5?
I'm going to go with a 9. I mean, that 4 wide move, that was really crazy, but I don't know how they didn't wreck. The only reason I give it a 9 is because of that, why NASCAR didn't throw the yellow for the William Byron Michael McDowell that were wrecked and they were stopped on the track. And apparently what they said was they were trying to make sure that it didn't script pit stops, but nothing you can do about it. So yeah. But by the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, they're already doing NASCAR Cup Series Fast Forward right about now. So yeah. All right. Do we have any other news other than any other? Do we have any other news that I need to be aware of?
Not to my knowledge.
I do need to point this. Wait a minute. I saw something. Taylor, can I ask a dumb question?
I can try to give you a dumb answer.
Since when did Coca-Cola join forces with Legacy Motor Club?
What?
Don't believe me? Look at the president's chat. Look closely at the left rear fender. This is, by the way, Eric Jones' scheme for this weekend's race at Vegas. Look at the rear fender.
When did they also get Reese's candy on the car?
Oh, that's going to make... Oh, Sean's going to do something very illegal to Eric Jones in 5 seconds.
All right, dumb question.
I got a dumb answer.
When did the Legacy Motor Club have 5-hour energy on the car?
Oh,
Look at that door. Look at that thing right behind the window there.
dead burn it. When did gear wrench? I see safety clean. I see gear wrench is on there. That's a bra moment. Club Wyndham. That was a sponsor from RFK Racing, if I'm not mistaken. Club Wyndham. When did they join that team? But it is a nice looking scheme. It's not one of those schemes that makes you want to puke. So, yes.
Unlike that recent stuff.
I also need to show you the Spencer Boyd's truck for this weekend. Does that look like a Dale Earnhardt scheme to you all, or what?
Yeah, well, it kind of does, actually.
Except it doesn't have the word, the GM Goodwrench part on it. That's the only thing I miss. So, yeah. It's time for the Mercy Orthopedics injury report. I believe we still have Chris Hacker and who is it? Kyle. Who's that? Who is that IndyCar you said that you helped me out, Taylor? That's still out.
David Malukas.
Yeah, David Malukas. Still out with their injuries. Not sure when Chris Hacker. I've not heard if Chris Hacker got released from the hospital. I'm actually going to look it up as a matter of fact.
Yeah, he did.
Yep. Also, tomorrow we're actually going to actually touch on this next week. Actually, I do have some updated news. Chris Hacker has been released from the hospital. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Do you want to see what he looked like after he left the hospital? This was, by the way, on the 14th of February. Look at this, Taylor. Look at the president's chat. Yeah. So glad to see Chris Hacker is back home from the hospital, who is still recovering, and David Malukas, we're still sending prayers to him as far as that's concerned. But that is your Mercy Orthopedics injury report. Slowed down by an arthritis, a broken bone, or sports injury. Count on Mercy to help restore your orthopedic life. Call Mercy Orthopedics today. Mercy and the PCS Ray, a wonderful partnership for over a decade. Want to mention something real quickly. What has Stewart Haas Racing penalties have in common? Listen to this. Since the next gen era began 2 years ago. They have had all 4 of their cars have had at least 1 penalty. Kevin Harvick, who got docked 100 driver and owner points for modifying a single source part. Last year, Chase Briscoe was docked 120 driver and owner points, 25 playoff points for counterfeiting a NG part. And then the roof rail deflectors, which I showed you on my Chase Elliott diecast car for our cutaway car, which I want to thank my buddy Andrew for buying me that last year for my birthday. So this has been a trend, and I'm going to ask you guys this question. Do you think this is going to be a big hit, that now Gragson and Priest are more than likely, and this is a little early for me to say this, do you guys feel like they're going to be desperate for a win to make up all the points?
Well, definitely those points that they lost and that penalty is going to hurt them, no doubt. Especially with them dropping way down in points now, and get out of that and drop that.
Oh, I gotta quote that. I'm sorry. That's gonna be the funniest quote of this show. That will drop them in points. Will you drop that? Zachary Taylor, 2024. That will drop in points. Will you drop that? Zachary Taylor, 2024. Great way to get a Zachary Taylor yelling at his dog on this awesome recording of our program. Which, by the way, we're over an hour and 12 minutes and counting.
I got no interview about that.
I know where this is going to go next.
Here's a fire for Taylor. Ding.
But go on.
Back to what I was trying to say before the dog decided to do something. But yeah, definitely those penalties are going to hurt Priest and Gregson in points. And, definitely, you brought up a good point there with Stuart Haas having all those penalties since the new car got on the track a few years ago. Definitely, it's going to be interesting to see what they do to try to quit committing all the penalties and stuff that they've been doing. I'm sure Tony Stewart's probably going to give them a talking to on that one.
I bet it will be an interesting chat in the meeting. What about you, Sean?
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to take note into that, but I'm going to say it could be that point where a must-win could be the discussion.
Yeah, because like I said, if you're like 53 points below the cut line 2 races in, you are absolutely facing a must-win situation. And that was the downfall for them, is that with these penalties that they got, and of course last year they didn't have a good year. Of course, they got penalized a lot, and it really affected them big time. And it also affected all of the penalties, from Hendrick when they got caught for those louvers. So who knows what would have happened if those penalties didn't happen? We could have had a different outcome as far as the championship's concerned. But NASCAR did say you touch one part, you're going to get a big penalty, and that's exactly what happened. So yeah, but I sent Taylor a weather report in his DM.
Yeah, that was what I was referring to. You were still at work when I said part of Indiana got through under a tornado watch.
Yeah. I will watch something from Sean Galligan, my favorite Yoshi friend. Let's see. I don't have any news for the NR report. And by the way, that was the Mercy Orthopedics injury report. So I just want to get that in here. So let's see here. It is time to preview Bahrain and Las Vegas. By the way, want to throw a little note here. As of this taping of our show, tomorrow is free practice from the Kingdom of Bahrain on a Thursday. What?
Yay.
Okay, that was weird, Taylor. But anyway, we're gonna preview. Yeah, Taylor's just racking up all these funny points, and the best part is this is being taped on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. By the time you're getting this video, which you're actually getting this after we went on the air. But anyway, so based on what we saw from testing, boys, what do you think we're going to see this weekend at Bahrain? While you guys are doing that, I'm going to go ahead and get everything ready for our Vegas picks.
Well, definitely, it's going to be interesting to see what teams are going to improve from last year, and it's going to be interesting to see if anybody can stop Red Bull. It seemed like last year nobody could really stop Red Bull very often. And
Red Bull won almost all of the Grand Prix last year.
Yeah, and so it's going to be interesting to see the team's approaches and strategies that they try to use to get up there and compete with Red Bull.
I know it's going to be a two-stopper because tires are going to be an issue as far as that race. What would you agree with Would you agree with me on that, Sean? Easy for me to say.
I think really the main thing is everyone's got to stop Red Bull. If you can't stop Red Bull, good luck trying this season. It ain't happening.
I mean, think about this, folks. I mean, this is going to be something we've never experienced. This will be the final season with Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes. They are leaving their parting ways at the end of the year, which I don't think anybody saw that coming. Where does Carlos Sainz go for next year? You know, that's something we're going to have to think about. Where's Carlos Sainz going for next season? Because he doesn't have a ride. He's leaving the team at the end of the year. So, you know, that's the thing we're going to have to think about is, you know, where's he going to go for next year? So, all right, we're going to start with global while I'm still finishing up I'm still getting everything ready to go, as I don't know why this got spaced out a lot. I will go ahead and reveal everybody's picks. Also, my drivers will make their picks. Their picks will be either on the Discord or in the description if I do not forget to put them in there. So that way you know who they picked for Bahrain as well as this weekend at Vegas. I am almost done. I gotta get Sean's. Actually, I'm just going to do this. Oh, wait. Nope, that's not it. Hold on a second. Let me do this. All right, paste. I also forgot to mention, as I'm taping this, I already gave my my house manager, who's on his next to last day of working with us, a $500 administrative assessment for saying the F word. That is not going to be explained. It would probably be best if I explain it in a DM with people. So, yeah. I will get with Captain Frank on his picks and all that. He already made his F1 picks. I'll get I'll try to get into a VC with him on Friday to get his Vegas picks. So, yeah. So, did you belch?
Yeah.
Nice motivational
Nice.
belch. Nice. Drop that pillow. Zach Retailer 2024. But anyway,
That's fun.
yeah, it's funny, and it's also on the stream. So this is like, well, it's the by the way. Taylor's now mad at me for doing that. To be fair, it's not my fault because I'm not the one who's or derps a lot.
I am not even saying about that.
You just did, you derp.
Nice going, you derp.
Zero speaking right.
Up! Get him, Sean.
Here's a fire extinguisher. Ding.
All right, Mr. Taylor, you're up for F1 since you are the only one that I know of that has not made it. But before we do that, let me just go over everybody's picks. Sean has Max Verstappen to win, Leclerc to stay away from, George Russell, the dark horse. I also have Max Verstappen to win, but I have Daniel Ricciardo to stay away from and Checo Perez as the dark horse. And then Captain Frank, I'm going to cut him a break because he's a rookie for Global. And if Cody has a problem with that, he can go bleep himself. He also has Max Verstappen to win, Logan Sargent to stay away from, and Carlos Sainz the dark horse. Mr. Taylor, you're next. This is F1, by the way. And then we're going to discuss our picks for this weekend at Las Vegas, which I need to question why the flip do we have the weirdest title name for an Xfinity race, which we'll discuss that later.
All right. So for the driver, I am going to pick to stay away from. I'm going to say Pierre Gasly will be my driver to stay away from.
And they didn't look good in preseason testing, so that's a bit of concern, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely. That could be a bit of concern.
And your dark horse.
I'm going to take Charles Leclerc as my dark horse.
And your winner.
And my winner is going to be, drumroll please. Oh wait, here, I got a drum roll. There we go. I'm going to say the winner to start off the F1 season is going to be none other than Max Verstappen, who is going to pick up right where I left off last year.
Not surprised. Moving on.
Not surprised. Moving on. By the way, our Triple P predictions are brought to you by the Drunken Army Strategy of Foster's.
What?
You're welcome.
Oh, that's a not close Fitzwater strategy.
I'm not going there. Anyway, going on to previewing Las Vegas. Let's talk about Las Vegas, boys. What do you think we're going to see at Vegas with this now a 1.5 mile race?
Well, definitely it's going to be interesting to see what happens on our first non-tracking track of the year. It's going to be interesting to see what teams start off with a bang on the 1.5 mile tracks and what teams need to improve. And can we see kind of a small team get up there and run with the big teams? And definitely it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Oh, definitely it will be a big thing. What about you, Mr. Senor Sean?
Look, here's the thing. The first 2 races, they were the real proving grounds. This is the first official week of the season that is now the proving grounds. From here on out, you must prove yourself. And this is the starting point at Las Vegas.
Oh, definitely. I think we're in for a very good race weekend so far. We have all three series are in action. I'll mention this in a little bit before we get to predictions, which we'll discuss that in a minute. So this weekend we have the Craftsman Truck Series race at Las Vegas, which I need to go to J-Ski right now, and then I'll mention something before we make our predictions. So you can catch the Victoria Voice Foundation at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on MRN Radio, the voice of NASCAR, and also Sirius XM Radio for NASCAR. The Xfinity race, which is the Iuna at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, you can catch that at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on the PRN, the Performance Racing Network, also on XM Sirius NASCAR Radio. And then for Sunday, which is the Cup race, you can catch the Pennzoil 400 at Las Vegas at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox, as well as the Performance Racing Network and Sirius XM NASCAR. So, yay. You guys already got the entry list, as far as that's concerned. I'll mention the entry list in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and mention before we start picks a little this week's upcoming events. We will recap Las Vegas next week and all that yada, yada, yada with all the usual stuff. And then this is going to be the long list of as we preview next week's race. So get ready. This is a long one. We got Phoenix for Xfinity Cup, which means the Truck Series will take an off week. We got F1, F2, and first race for the F1 Academy from Jeddah. We have IndyCar starting up from St. Pete. And that's about it. And also, hey, Zachary Taylor, you know what else is next week?
What would that be?
The next episode of the IMSA podcast, because there's an IMSA series that will be racing there, which we will discuss more details on that on next week's show, which I need to see which IMSA class is racing there. So there you go. I bet you're excited, and I'm excited too. So can't wait for you to join us for that. All right. Are you guys, as I don't know what the hell that was, but anyway, let's see here. I'm not going to ask. Oh, it's the BP Racing Sports Car Challenge. I believe. Oh no, it's the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. Is the series we're going to talk about. Let me actually look and see who's going to St. No, that's not what I want. Oh, you're going to quote that, you dart.
Alright, where's the quote shot?
Okay, it is the it is the BP Racing Sports Car Challenge is the one I'm talking about. So, which they're actually going to have a doubleheader, believe it or not, on Saturday. We'll talk more about that on IMSA podcast next week. All right, Sean, would you like to go first? All right. Would you like to go first, Sean, or what? I think you went to go do something, right?
I think he stepped out of the room.
All right, Zachary Taylor. We'll come back to Sean in a minute. Zachary Taylor, you're up. Who you got for the trucks? This will be trucks.
All right. Driver that I think I'm going to pick for the stay away from driver, I am going to say Kyle driver to stay away from.
All right, Ty Dillon. All right, next one.
For my long shot, I am going to say Matt Mills is going to go there.
Okay, so you're going to take Matt Mills as a long shot. Hold on, Taylor. Let me write that down, or type that down. Okay, I'm ready.
For Dark Horse, it's going to be fun to watch this driver because she was really impressive last year. Nearly won several times last year. Came close to winning a few races. And finally won just a couple races ago at Daytona. Give me Nick Sanchez as the Dark Horse.
Okay, so Nikki Sanchez. You're down to sleeper and favorite.
Yeah. For my sleeper, I am going to take none other than Christopher Bell as my sleeper.
So Bell, you're going to take. Okay, let me make sure I do not derp. I'm just going to actually slide the phone there. Yes, let's see. You pick Bell. And now your favorite.
Will you drop that pillow?
Okay, go ahead, Taylor. My favorite. Give me that. Zachary Taylor, 2024. That was funny. And Taylor's like, no. And I'm like, yes.
Anyway, barring any more interruptions.
Ow, and I just hit myself for no reason.
Barring any more interruptions from the dog here. My favorite. I think he's going back to back. Give me Rowdy Busch going in.
As your favorite. All right. I guess Sean's not back, so I'll just go ahead and go next. I'll just come back to Sean in a minute. Yeah. Triple P, by the way, will be 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on, what was it? We're going to do it Wednesday because doing it at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time was probably not the best idea ever. Even though, to be fair, at least I'm trying to share my portion of the broadcast. So, yeah. All right. So I will go next. Let's see here. I did not go over who's driving and what in the entry list, did I, Taylor?
For the part-timers.
For the truck series, okay. So we have Christopher Bell, who's not too easy. Kyle Busch back in the 7. Connor Mosak, by the way, is this week's driver of the 45. And Zane Smith's in the 91 for trucks. So that's for the trucks. I will document the Xfinity series in just a second here. But first, I need to plug my charger in so I can charge my phone. Also, forgot to make this announcement. During the Olympic break coverage, I'm going to be doing a endurance race for 2 consecutive weeks. When those will be out will be TBD. So, yeah. All right. My favorite, Dean Thompson.
What?
Oh, hi, Sean. Welcome back.
See you.
I picked Dean Thompson. Stay away from... And I'll come back to you in a minute, Sean, for your picks and your sister's picks, so I don't forget. I'm gonna go Bret. I'm gonna go Bret Holmes. Dark horse. Give me my boy Christopher Bell.
Sooner strategy guy.
Oh, I am not going there. Thank you very much. My sleeper.
You just did, you did.
I got no comment.
Up.
Here's a fire extinguisher. Ding.
Give me Corey Heim. And my long shot. Matt Mills. Excuse me. Sorry, I've been dealing with allergies of late, so forgive me on that. All right, Sean. Do you want to go next, or do you want Jesse to go next?
I should let my sister who loves to use the dead girl strategy go.
Oh! I knew that was going to happen. She'll be like, all right.
No, she's going to beat me up. That's what she's going to do.
That's what Sharky said.
Oh.
Hey, I replaced the word she with the word Sharky, so are you going to complain about that? No.
Yeah, that's a $100 fine administrative assessment.
Oh, mother of pearl. All right, who's your favorite for Jesse?
Who's my sister's favorite, huh? Well, just think about this. Let's just think about this.
By the way, nobody goes home for trucks since there's only 32 entries.
Yeah, so that means the race is going to be mid.
But go on.
For the truck series race for my sister, her favorite, you know what? I'm going to let her take Zane Smith.
And nobody picks Zane Smith for trucks.
Yeah. Or stay away from. Give me a second so I can go over there so I don't get her in trouble for picking somebody too easy.
Well, remember, LTR, there is no rule about too easy for stay away from. It's only for our drivers that are fighting for the championship, because Cody asked that question.
Well, I'm going to let Jesse take Keith McGee.
All right. Dark horse.
That's right.
Yep.
I'm going to let my sister take Ty Majeski.
I was wondering who was going to pick Ty Majeski.
Now, sleeper. How about Stewie?
Stewie! Did I put the entry list in the server? Just FYI.
If you're talking about mine, yeah, you did.
No, I was talking about in this server.
I don't know.
I did not. Okay, let me take care of that real quick. All right, problem solved. All done.
My sister's long shot. I'm gonna let her take Mason Massey.
Yep, Mason Massey. All right, and for you, Senor.
All right, I know I'm gonna get booed at for this one. For my favorite, give me Kyle Busch.
Not surprised. You just want to make sure that Taylor Jr. quit using the dead Wolverine strategy. Okay, thanks for telling me, Sean.
No. He needs to stop using the dead Boilermaker strategy.
I was wondering who was going to get triggered on the stream tonight. And by the way, also we have our fourth panelist, which is Bucky the Beaver, but he's not making picks, but he wants to get his $500 deal there. All right, next pick. You just did, you derp.
Anyway, now that I stay away from, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna pick Daniel Dye.
Not too bad. Dark horse.
Alright, dark horse. I'm gonna pick Corey Heim.
You're thinking Corey Heim could have a chance to surprise us.
I'm thinking he can do well. He's done the past couple of weeks, even though it was super speedway. But remember last year he did very, very good.
I like to mention he missed one race due to under the weather circumstances.
Yeah. So
I wonder if they're gonna this is something I'm gonna actually bring this up, and we'll answer this when we get to Gateway later this season. I wonder if they're gonna allow him to have the rookie stripes for Gateway.
We'll see about it. But either way, now it's time for my sleeper pick. And for my sleeper, I'm going to look at Tyler Ankrum.
Also, before we get to your long shot, hey, weather Apple, my phone, I got something for you. Here's a frying pan. Good!
Oh.
You want to know why? They hit that cursive number!
Okay, we're just going off topic here, so you just did that on purpose.
No, I just need to do that before I forget. All right, your long shot. All right, your long shot.
Never look at your weather app in the middle of the game.
No comment.
All right, here's a 5 for you.
All right, here's your long shot.
Long shot, I'm going to say, look at Ty Dillon.
I can bet you he probably won't win.
I can say he can run well if he doesn't get involved in someone's problems.
All right, should we have Sean? Yeah, I was going to have Sean go first for trucks, but he had to step out of the room. So I'm going to let Sean pick between him or Jesse go first for Xfinity. Then it'll be Taylor. Then it'll be me.
I'm gonna have my sister go first and use the dead Bill strategy.
Oh! I saw that one coming. I know where this is going to end up. Cody better not watch this premiere once it comes out. As of this, by the time you're watching this.
Anyway, moving on with my sister's favorite. I know this might not be a popular decision, but it's a good decision. Riley Hurts.
Oh, actually, that was a good decision. Remember, Riley Herbst won this race when we were here last in Vegas, so it makes a lot of sense.
Yep. Anyway, it's her day away from Parker Retzloff.
Ooh. Arthur's off to a good start so far this season, which I'm a little surprised about that 2 races in.
Yeah, but that's coming to a screeching here very shortly.
Actually, should mention real quickly, now that we're on the Xfinity Series, I need to actually look at who's in the 32 from Joseph Strigley.
But
As I'm trying to find... Oh, it's Sage Karam. By the way, Sage Karam is not too easy for stay away from. Yes, keep going.
Okay, dark horse for my sister. Parker Kligerman.
Mm-hmm.
Leaper pick for my sister. Not Hunter Nemechek.
Oh, that's what Julius said.
Long shot for my sister. Jeb Burry.
All right.
That's my turn.
Yep, your turn, Sean.
All right. Let's just start off with this. Sammy Smith.
Oh! We're about to have a bro picks in about 5 seconds.
I'm just picking him because, look.
No, I'm saying, like, when we get to me, I'm about to pull some bro picks, is what I'm saying.
Oh, so you're going to have stuff popping out of your rear end. Okay.
I'm going to join the Sean Arch strategy.
Yeah, next up, the driver to stay away from. Unfortunately, I got to pick Kyle Weatherman.
At least Kyle will not predict the weather will be that bad this weekend.
Next up, the dark horse. I'm looking over at SVE.
After he got a third, which was a broad moment.
I think he'll do well again.
Sleeper,
Jesse Love.
and long shot.
Long shot over to AJ Allmendinger.
The dinger.
Yes, the dinger.
Zachary Taylor, you're up.
Oh, all right. Let's get down to business for Xfinity picks here.
Or as Cody would say, Xfinity.
Should mention there are only 38 entries. There was going to be 39, but the 36 team withdrew. So we have 38 drivers for 38 spots. That means nobody goes home. Everybody will make the race.
Hooray! All right. You better not be grabbing any pillows.
All right. You better not be grabbing any pillows. That's my stay away from. Okay, I just wrote that down.
Oh, anyway. Time for Xfinity picks, as Cody would say. Cody, looking at you. That's what happens when Cody ain't so smart.
Cody is not so smart. I'm going to say that.
Driver to stay away from. I'm going to say Jeffrey Earnhardt's going to be my stay away from.
Is he on the entry list?
Let me confirm that.
He is not on the entry list. Try again.
Wait, tootin' fart knockers.
We're not farting in the Triple P segment, you derp.
Wait a minute.
Good job, you derping hyena.
Wait. Wait. What? Alright, well, scratch that.
Eric Almirola, by the way, is in the 19 this week.
Alright, how boy from you on the injury list.
Yeah, good boy for doing that. Well, you cut that out.
You did it out. You did it on purpose, didn't you?
Yes.
Maybe.
Long shot.
We're not gonna throw a shot at Cody because Cody would not be so smart for that shot of long.
Oh, you all right.
All right. Your pick, Taylor. When did Sharky join Triple P? And then I get eaten on live stream. Yay. Okay, who's your long shot, Taylor?
My long shot, and I'm going to take for Xfinity, as Cody would say. Get me fast pasta as my long shot.
That would be Anthony Alfredo.
Alfredo sauce that can burn up easily.
I saw that one coming. Next.
I am not continuing that conversation anyway. I'm going to say for my dark horse, it's going to be interesting to see how this driver does and how this driver bounces back after kind of a rough start to the season. Curious to see how this driver's going to do, and hopefully this driver will have a good, solid top 20 finish as a bounce back. Give me Haley Deegan as a dark horse.
And remember, this is the same track she made her Xfinity Series debut.
You have to be out of your mind.
I think he is out of his mind. I'm just going to say that. Moving on, your sleeper.
I still got my mind. Thank you very much.
No, you don't.
Anyway, sleeper. I am going to say Eric Almirola will be my sleeper.
And your favorite?
My favorite. I am going to say we see our second winner of this year. And it's going to be Custer in Victory Lane. I'll take it.
No, you just said the ice cream man.
Oh.
All right, my picks. Sam Mayer is my favorite. Is not an answer. For my stay away from for Xfinity. Let's see. Who is my stay away from?
Cody Smart.
Leland Honeyman Jr. is my stay away from. If you're hearing that noise in the background, that is the wind blowing as far as my window is concerned, because we are under a wind advisory. So there you go. Dark Horse. I'm in the middle of a show. I'm going to go Jeb Burton. Yeah, better than what Marty Sakala said. 1 to go, not now, Dad. I got one more lap. Is not an answer. Sheldon Creed is my sleeper.
Hey, don't look at him.
I'll look in a minute.
Oh.
Josh Williams is my long shot. Hopefully this does not backfire. Alright. Give me 1 second before I forget. I need to take care of... Ah, shit! I knocked over something. Oh, it's an empty bottle. Okay, never mind. Ah. I'm not going to say how many times do I have to say that on the air. But anyway, let's get on to Cup. Alright. Why are you singing an opera, Taylor?
I have no idea.
I'm guessing Jesse's going first, Sean? For Cup.
Yes, she's on.
Alright, Derek Krause, by the way, is in the 16 this week. JJ Yaley's in the 44, and then Zane Smith in the 71, which, by the way, the entry lister, because they gave an I to Zane Smith, because he's running for Cup points, ya darps. Yeah, good job to a bunch of derps.
We're going to start with her favorite. And I think you remember. I think I know where she's going here with this, but who has done very well recently at Las Vegas?
I think I know who you're referring to.
There's a certain team that she's going here. You want to know who?
Who?
Hendrick Motorsports.
Oh. Her life will be... Who's she going for?
And the streak will continue on here. He won. My sister's going to pick him because he won back in the fall. He's going to win here in the spring race. It is Kyle Larson.
Oh.
Yes.
Stay away from.
It was Larson. Stay away from. Oh no, this is just painful for this one.
Oh
She
no.
wants Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
No, it's Ricky Reckhouse.
Oh.
It's the truth, Taylor, because Stenhouse likes to wreck a lot.
No, it's Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Oh. Dark Horse?
Dark Horse. Oh, no, that's just mean to say it like that. She says she wants to go for the dead sooner strategy with Chris Rubin.
I am not going there. Thank you very much. Moving on to Sleeper.
Sleeper. He's gonna pick Ty Gibbs.
Oh, Elijah's favorite driver.
And her long shot, Austin Cindric.
Holy shit, we're almost 2 hours into this. Holy shit.
Well, then I better not take long with mine. Let's get straight to the point then.
No, I'm saying we're 2 hours into this because we've been talking a lot about news and all that other shit like that. So, go on, Sean.
All right, we're going to start off with my favorite. And I feel bad for this guy getting second back in Atlanta, but he'll get the job done. My favorite, give me Ryan Blaney.
Oh, by the way, my pick I had an FBRL, but he lost. But got me some good points out of that.
But my stay away from, I'm going to pick Ross Chastain. Dark horse. I'm going to pick the giant cat man, William Byron.
I've noticed he has. I don't know if I've seen him wearing any big hats since he won the 500.
I don't think he's gotten a big one yet.
I could be wrong, then I don't know.
So my sleeper, I'll say this. Sleeper, Kyle Busch.
I was wondering when somebody was going to pick Rowdy Busch.
In my long shot, I'm picking Bubba, which is one of Taylor's favorite drivers. Oh, it's a front door. It's already closed.
We're not shutting the Triple P front door in front of Taylor Jr. You derp. Now you're up next.
No. We slam it in his face. What do you mean?
I thought we were gonna. I thought we were gonna slam it on the bus.
No.
Referring to Taylor Jr. I know we're gonna shut the front door in front of Bluer's face.
We're also doing that to Taylor Jr.
Oh, Taylor Jr. and Bluer, the Derping brothers. All right, Taylor, you're up. All right, let's get down to business. Zachary Taylor, 2024.
Anyway, the driver that I think is going to be a driver to stay away from, I just don't see this driver particularly doing that well. Give me Austin Cindric as a driver to stay away from.
Oh no. Oh no, what did Sean post in my DM? Oh no. Oh no. Moving on. I am not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. Long shot.
Anyway, I'm not even going to ask what's going on in the news over there. Long shot is going to be getting me Michael McDowell as my long shot.
Are you serious? You're picking Michael McDowell to possibly be a long shot? That is a bruh. That is a bruh. That is a bruh. Okay. Next.
Dark horse. I think this driver definitely needs to be in a really good pick selection because given where we're racing, get me none other than the hometown boy, Rowdy Busch as my dark horse.
Oh, what sponsor is he running this week? Oh, he's in the MGM colors this week. Funny thing is, my job finally updated their 2024 schedule. Yay. Sleeper!
Alright. Well, this driver, I think, definitely can have a really good run at Vegas and potentially even compete for the win at Vegas. Give me none other than the series defending champion, Ryan Blaney.
And then your favorite.
All right, favorite. I am going to say, for my favorite, we are going to see BJ McLeod. We're going to make it like normal here. Okay, no, for real.
Well, even though he's not on the entry list, you darp.
Even though
Hey, yeah, you don't want to sit there.
I said it.
No, he's going to pick Justin Haley to win and say, watch Rick Ware Racing win. And then you and I are going to look at him, Sean, and go, is he out of his mind? Is not an answer. Well is not an answer. Who's your favorite?
Anyway, he ain't back on top this year. And no, my favorite is not Justin Haley or a Rick Ware Racing car.
It would be nice if he did win this weekend, Taylor. I'm being honest over here.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it would be nice to see Rick Ware Racing win, but no,
Rick Ware Racing wins over Denny Hamlin. That would be funny as fuck.
Hey, can I be completely honest here?
Yes.
Rick Ware Racing winning wouldn't be nice, period. So
Rick Ware Racing wins over the fans of server.
We'll watch Rick Ware Racing win.
I'm not gonna say something because if one of those guys actually watches this,
I don't think they even care about watching the show, Senor, so you're safe as far as I'm concerned.
Anyway.
Who's your favorite?
Okay.
Wait. I'll just say this then so that you can make your pick. The Panther server sucks.
Anyway. That'd be funny if Rick Ware Racing won before Denny Hamlin and Joey Logano. That'd be really funny. Anyway, moving on, getting back on topic. My favorite, though, I think this driver is definitely going to be in contention. He had a really good run last year in the spring race, and I think he could contend for a win. Get me Kyle Larson as my favorite.
You're just trying to make sure to screw Sean out of points, is what you're telling me.
Oh.
I have a feeling he's going to do that just to screw Sean, and then Sean will grab a frying pan or a steel chair or something to hit Taylor.
I can do it right now.
Go ahead.
All right. Let me go find his DM.
My favorite, I'm going to go with Ryan Blaney. Ryan, wait, you're clapping for an obvious reason. Care to explain, Taylor?
I think it's because he's using the dead Boilermaker strategy.
Stay away from Daniel Hemrick. Hemrick never runs well at Vegas in the Cup Series. Dark horse, Alex Bowman.
All right, someone just asked a stupid question in the DM.
And that would be?
If it's a dumb question, I give him a dumb response.
Hey, Taylor, there's one driver you didn't select that I'm going to select for Sleeper. Who am I thinking of? Which driver am I thinking of? If you don't know the answer, I'm going to say MTJ is my Sleeper. He's another driver who won at Vegas. And my long shot, Daniel Suarez.
Yeah. I guess.
All right, boys. Any final thoughts before we start the Bahrain Las Vegas weekend?
Definitely. It's going to be good to see the F1 cars back on the track and get their season underway. And it's going to be some fun racing in Vegas, I think. Yeah!
All right, Sean?
Taylor stole what I was going to say because I was going to make Cody angry. And then Cody well, bleep you. But I got to say this. Let's do this.
It's time to roll the dice and see who's going to get snake eyes or somebody's going to get sent back to the Neon Garage. So, yeah. With that said, I want to thank you guys a lot for joining us for this week's episode of Triple P. Please remember to join us next week when we recap Las Vegas and preview the St. Pete, Phoenix, and Saudi Arabia and all that yada, yada, yada. So that'll be fun. And, of course, our shows will now be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So hope you will join us for all of the episodes for the rest of the season. But with that said, I want to thank you guys so much for watching for today's episode. If you guys like the video, be sure to give it a like. If you haven't considered subscribing yet, I highly recommend you do so in order to keep up with some wonderful content coming out in the near future, as well as future episodes of your favorite podcast coming out throughout the rest of this weekend onward to the next. Disclaimer alert. I will be putting out an announcement video before this episode comes on the air. So please keep your eyes peeled on the announcement I made earlier if you haven't seen that video. Link will be in the top right-hand corner. But on behalf of Sean and Zachary Taylor, I'm DJ Full, AKPCS Ray Blue, Hedgehog 26 signing out. Thanks for joining us for Triple P. We'll see you guys next time as you've been watching another broadcast and stream courtesy of PCS Ray TV as we celebrate 14 years as the best in racing around the world since 2017. Enjoy the races this weekend. Join us for the reactions all weekend long. And for now, from all of us, we survived another episode. And from all of us here on Triple P, that is your lot. Enjoy the races. We'll see you guys next week.